Dark days need dark heroes, or maybe anti-heroes, or maybe a villain protagonist, that is. And welcome back to the heart of the stories we tell, a series where I spend way too much time thinking about what makes a story. And today's episode is Villain Protagonist. Back during the point of view video, I said that I would definitely touch on this again, and here we are. So what is a villain protagonist? Well, to put it bluntly, it's when the main character of a movie, book, or TV series is the villain of the story. Not just an anti-hero, not someone a little on the dark side, someone who is actually the bad guy. Someone you probably shouldn't be rooting for, but on occasions, we actually do. Walter White from Breaking Bad, Dexter from Dexter, plus hundreds of others are all examples of times that we saw the bad guy and said, hey, that guy's awesome. If you delve too deep, sometimes it can even get a little creepy when you think about it. A writer somehow manipulated you into thinking that this sadist, this evil person, is the main character. And because he's the main character, you've gotten into his head and you can associate with them. But in reality, it's just another trick the writers have up their sleeve. The villain of the story can be just as compelling and just as heartfelt as any hero. One of the important things when writing a villain is to think about the fact that no one considers themselves the villain. Do you think that a mobster sees himself as a bad guy, or someone who's just making do with a bad hand in life? Do you think that a gun runner thinks of himself as the villain of a story, or do you think he thinks of himself as the hero, the person trying his best in a bad situation, or the guy who's just trying to bring the rebels their weapons? These stories are as old as time itself. Everyone remembers a story somewhere along the way where there was someone that thought they were doing good but were really doing bad, when the entire story focuses on them. And at the end of the story, when we the reader know they actually did bad, that is the spot where the villain protagonist lives. Now that's not to say that every villain protagonist needs to be the devil incarnate, although that doesn't hurt. A con man that's just trying to make a little extra money and thinks no one's going to get hurt. Or the mobster who's trying to just keep crime organized. Or, as in Gail Simone's Secret Six, a group of actual supervillains who are just trying to live their life. Right now we also have the Suicide Squad, and movies that have bad guy protagonists aren't exactly rare things. Taxi Driver did it years ago. But at the end of the day, when you start thinking about these things, you realize there's a sexiness that comes with the villain. There's a certain amount of pull, things that we want to see, the darker aspects of our lives that we want to look at and examine more closely. And when we do, we want to be able to relate to these people. And a lot of them are very relatable because, especially ones based on true stories, are real people. People who have been through bad things. And as we walk through the heart of the stories we tell, we can't get so wrapped up in the hero's journey that we forget there's a villain's journey too. Everyone starts off trying to be the hero of their own story. That doesn't mean that we can't also say, hey, those guys were bad guys, and we are happy, and there's a catharsis when we see them get defeated, or see them fall from grace. Played for laughs or played for tragedy, the villain protagonist definitely is an interesting story. However, I would like to point out, just because a movie's named for an evil person doesn't mean that it's necessarily a villain protagonist. There's a bit of a gray area here, and one that we'll have to examine more thoroughly as we look at different stories being told in different lights. For now, if you have a story that you think has a villain protagonist, or one of the stories that I've shown today that you thought didn't, let me know down in the comment section, and maybe we can start some discussion about this. So for now, I need you to like, subscribe, and share this video so that we can grow this community, and then join me back here next time as we take a walk through the heart of the stories we tell. Thanks for watching.